Hey guys, today's going to be a little bit of a different video. Today is not my favorite day in this business, but it is a day that has to come a couple times a year. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the exhaust hood all the way up inside the thing and then everything up underneath here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these baffles out here, the vents, and get them out of the way, and then we're going to take a look up inside this and see how bad it is. I don't really have a perfect way to do this. I do it differently every time. It seems to get a little better each time. I do it every 6 months, every 3 to 6 months. I tend to forget what worked and didn't work. I've used a pressure washer before. It makes a mess. It did work really well. I had it hooked up to hot water. Today I don't have that. First thing I do is I'm heating up some water over here so that I can get this water nice and hot. That way when I mix it with my chemicals, hopefully with a rag, I can just kind of start to work it out and wipe it off. There's no fast way to do this. It's pretty much working one little square foot at a time, and I start all the way up at the top where it's the worst. I have to climb on top of my equipment, what I can't reach. We'll pull the vents, and then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna tape up with some plastic, cut a trash bag and lay it across all the cooking equipment here up to about here. It's not hot right here. Yeah, we'll get to work. I'll also show you the chemicals that I'm using. I've never used this one before, the Sunburst high power cleaner detergent, so I'm gonna check this out as well, but I don't have much experience with this one. Simple Green, believe it or not, has been one of the better chemicals. We use it on the floors at night. It just seems to work really well. It does take some time. Like I said, you really got to work it in there and just work on 1 square foot at a time. Easy off works great, but the fumes on this is ridiculous. I did bring my respirator right here. This does help, but these cans are old. I bought them when they were on sale. I would not recommend doing that because the aerosol in them, it doesn't really work that well anymore. So if it comes down to this, I'll try to get whatever spray I can out of these. But these cans kind of are expired. They don't spray very well. So this is the one that I'm betting on today to really help us out. I also have this Simple Green spray down here. So we'll probably even start with this guy here and then refill it from the jug. And then also, believe it or not, here's another good one. It's Goo Gone. This is the Goo Gone adhesive remover. This is one of the better ones. Pretty much what it comes down to, I use all of these chemicals and I try to figure out which one's gonna work the best for me. We're gonna get started here. Hopefully you guys like this. I know it's different from your average cooking, building hot dog video that we usually do, but this is part of the industry. It's my least favorite part of the industry, but you do have to keep it clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these baffles off, these vents, and then we'll take a look up inside there and see how much work we're gonna have. Honestly, it's really not too bad, but we are going to start up in here. We're going to try and get this as clean as we possibly can. You can see right here is the fire suppression, so we want to be careful around these things. Better just leave those a little dirty and not mess with those tags, because if that pops open, then we got a problem. That means that this whole suppression system right here is going to come down on us. So over here you can see the vent. So there's a fan up there in the tunnel, so we'll probably start up there, kind of clean around. We'll take a scraper and we'll scrape up all this stuff that kind of collected right here, all the grease. We're gonna work our way out. We'll hit the top, we'll hit the lights here, we'll hit the suppression nozzles just a little bit, nice and light. We don't want to mess with them too much. And then we'll come down here and we'll just slowly work our way around. If I can get this job done today, then I will be excited. If it takes 2 days, that's fine too. I'm not in a rush, obviously, too, with recording this. Right now, I got the water hot, so I'm gonna turn this all off. And I'm gonna go ahead and tape up some plastic and try and contain all of the grease and all of the splatter and all of the mess right here to this area here. It's always good to use painter tape too. This way when you go to peel it off, you don't have all that sticky residue left over. Always use painter's tape. So I want this thing really concentrated. I want this thing to be mostly chemicals. This is the part where I'm gonna go ahead and put on my respirator. Again, good idea to wear gloves. I'm gonna throw on some dish gloves here in a second. I'm gonna add this bucket right here that's gonna have concentrate in the cleaning detergent. And I'm gonna go ahead and use this bucket right here. This is what I'm gonna wring my rag out in. So at first, I'm just gonna start with a soft cloth rag real quick and see if it comes off nice and easy. If it doesn't come off easy, I'm gonna go ahead and use this Scotch-Brite heavy duty Brillo pad. And if that doesn't work, I got a bunch of different brushes and things, and like I said, you just do whatever works with it. If there's a better way out there, please let me know. Shoot me a link to a video. I'd love to watch it. Well, I haven't even gotten into this job more than 3 minutes and I already see an issue here. I'm using a new step stool from the house. My wife's gonna kill me because it's the house step stool. And I can already tell I'm gonna get this thing dirty. But more importantly, this metal here, now that my feet are kind of getting a little wet, I'm slipping on this. And that just makes it even more dangerous. It's a real weird angle. I'm like standing on the second rung down, leaning all the way up on a 45 and then bending my arm all the way up there to get into where I got it clean. So it should get easier, but for right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay rags down on this and hopefully this will keep it from slipping a little bit more. I will never use this step stool again in the trailer. I'll either use my Little Giant. I was kind of thinking that the Little Giant was gonna be a little too bulky. Honestly, maybe I'll just buy some of that tread and lay it down on these steps here. So, but for right now, we're gonna throw these rags on here and hope we don't slip. Well, I also forgot my flashlight, so in order to give you guys a good view of just that little cylinder area up there, that exhaust area that I just did, I'm going to put my flashlight up there for you. So you can kind of see right there, it was able to come off pretty easy. So I'm really hoping that means that all this stuff's going to come off easy too. So we're going to start working on this corner section here. Alright, so I'm starting to come up with a game plan that I think's gonna work. This is what I want it to look like, obviously. This is a little harder to get off because this is hanging right over top of the fryer here. So that's gonna be caked on real good. And this is gonna get easier and easier the further I go down. Although every time I say that, it ends up not being the case. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this simple green spray and I'm just gonna coat it and let it sit. You want this stuff to sit. So give it a good shake, spray it up there, let it sit for 5 minutes. And then I think I'm gonna test an area with this scraper. This seemed to work pretty good, especially over here where it's really caked up. So if I can loosen it up with the simple green, I'm gonna hit it with the scraper, and then I'm gonna come back through with the rag. I know the rag, it's soft. Why don't you switch over to the green pads? But right now, I just kind of want to experiment and see what's working. Right now, this is working. All right, so I got done the first section here. Starting to feel it a little bit, kind of contortioning my body up in here so I can, you know, get the best I can. I can't get it all, but I can get the best I can. So I'll go ahead and turn this camera around and kind of show you. That's what it looked like. That's what it looks like now. And again, just all the way up in there. Again, I'm not messing around with this, so I'd rather it be a little greasy. And so you can see there's a little bit back in here. I can hit that with a rag later, but at a certain point, you do have to move on. So that's what we're gonna do. And here's what this looks like in here. I kind of put a paper towel right there, so that way what is there doesn't run too much back behind it. At least all the gook. Next step I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start up there, work my way over, and probably stop right here and just do this section. But I'm already beat. I'm gonna step outside for a second, learning these things in real time, and just kind of wanna put some notes down for anybody who does have to do this in the future. That way they can skip some of these steps. But here's Tahoe right now. We got a winter storm coming in, and we'll see. Hopefully it's not just rain like it is right now. So I'm gonna take a quick break, cool down, get back in there, and we'll start that next section. We're probably about 2 hours into this project. I figure another 2 hours we should be done with the inside. You know, I like to get it real clean. Maybe a little too OCD clean, but that's okay with me. So Alright, well, we are committed now. Probably 3 hours into this thing. I'm taking a quick little break here. I'm going to heat up some more hot water right here so I can start working on some other parts, but I'm going to show you real quick kind of where we're at. It's not looking too bad. You know, this isn't finished. This is probably aluminum or unfinished stainless. This is stainless. They're gonna make the back maybe out of like cheaper aluminum or something, but this is stainless. This is gonna be the hardest part here to clean over here. My theory was start with the hardest part inside the hood, work my way to the easier part, so it got easier as we went. There's that drip edge down in there. And then once I got over here, I'm starting to get a little gas, so I wanted to kind of try and make up some ground here so I start to feel a sense of accomplishment, because I still have all of this up here. Down there, that's going to be the harder part. I got to do all these light globes here, hit the nozzles. This side here is always a pain in the butt. It doesn't want to come off too easy, but once I get that area down here done, the rest of this hood's probably only going to take me about an hour and a half. So this might take me an hour right here. We'll see, hopefully a half hour. Then the rest of the hood should just take me about an hour, hour and a half. Once I'm done with all of that, I also have to hit this backsplash here too. So if I get it all done today, I think it's like almost 2 o'clock. If not, what are we at here? Oh, we're at 1:35, so you know, I'll put in a long one, stay here till 7 o'clock at night if it means I get all this done, because I'm going to sleep real good tonight knowing that I don't have to worry about this for a little bit. Some things that I did learn along the way is I like the simple green the best. Put the simple green in the bucket, high concentration with some really, really hot water. Hot water is key right there. Then what I do is I get a fresh scoring pad. I start to score everything with that scoring pad. That's going to take off all this kind of hard stuff. And if it's not coming all with that, then I'm gonna come through and hit it with a scraper. These chemicals also like to sit for about 5 minutes so they start to work. This is obviously probably gonna need some scraping done here. Then I'll come back in with a scoring pad again, clean up all the little details, and then the final thing is gonna be the rag. The rag is gonna kinda clean it up a little bit. That's about it. There's no easy way to do this, at least that I found. I'm sure if I got a pressure washer and I had hot water hooked up to it and, you know, chemicals that would feed through the pressure washer, I'm sure it would be way easier than this, but this creates the least amount of mess. I don't want to destroy and flood my trailer. I don't have access to hot water. I mean, we're looking, it's February 1st or 2nd right now, so I don't want to make a huge mess. Even though I will be working my way down and cleaning down, I don't need there to be puddles everywhere, so I prefer if this wasn't freaking everywhere in the trailer. But so far I'm happy with this. This is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good. I'm gonna go take a break, step outside, come back in, and we'll keep going. So I'm just giving it that rough score. And then I'm gonna come back through and score it again. But just to kind of work those chemicals in. I mean, this is really working great right now. Look at it, just shred that fat off. All that grease. So this is gonna be the hardest spot now, because I'm over top of the deep fryers. So I'll get as far as I can, and then I'll reheat some more water. But if it's still working, I'm gonna save those chemicals in that bucket and keep using them. You know, I don't want to, every time I put fresh hot water in, it makes it easier, but then I lose the chemicals that's inside the bucket I have, and if they're still working, I mean, at least I can score this area. All right. This is that last section here I'm gonna do. Then I'm gonna take a break. I kind of want to take a break now, but we're gonna get that last section done and then rub some chemicals over top of this to let it soak. This used to take a while to get off, and I mean, just, it's still not easy, but this is way easier than it was in the past. Just flaking off. I mean, this is the hardest thing. Let's try to scrape her now. Kidding me. Is it going to scratch up my hood a little bit? Yeah, but are you kidding me? Look at that. Something that I just thought was going to take me a half hour to do is not going to take me 10 minutes. What I am going to do though before I scrape this is I'm going to cover these bolts real quick with a trash bag. That way none of that stuff falls into there. So, but that's beautiful. This is the move right here. I use this for about 90% of it, and then I use equal parts Simple Green and this Sunburst high power and cleaner degreaser. Didn't even touch the easy off, which I'm thankful for, because this makes you choke, it gets on your skin, it burns. I'd much rather use these guys right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and bag this up, and we're gonna go ahead and bang out this 30-minute section into 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm scratching it, but I ain't stopping. Alright, I'm finally finished. At least for today. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I'm gonna Sheila shine the whole thing, but I'm finished for today. So I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you the afters. 336. Probably took me 4.5 hours to do this whole hood with moving the GoPro around, taking plenty of breaks. So here's the final final product here. Super pleased with it. This is probably what I would recommend to clean this if you're just doing it by yourself. So this is gonna be the final look at the hood. Again, I will be cleaning these glass globes up a little bit more, but I'm not going to worry about them right now. You can see the inside edge here, as well as the inside edge there. This is the hardest part, which honestly, but with the scraper and with the Simple Green, took me 10 minutes. Then I started to do the quilted stainless steel in the back. You can see, is it going to scratch it up? It is going to scratch it up a little bit. You can kind of see those little scratches on it. Personally, brand new trailer, early on in business, I would have used a rag, which is why I used a rag. It took me 10 times longer. I'd rather scratch up a little bit behind the deep fryer. I'm gonna come through with that Sheila Shine, which is gonna add a protected coat on it. You know, if you gotta clean this thing often and you want it to look good, some spots you got to scratch up a little bit. It's a give and take, and I'm willing to do that. So tomorrow, what I'm gonna do, I might finish out today. I probably won't record it. Just this little section here. I got some hot water still. Maybe I'll clean, you know, hit the top of this guy. And then tomorrow what we'll do is, once we polish up the top, I'll replace the vents up there, so that'll be totally complete. And then I'll start working on back in here, where all that kind of grease and crud kind of can get stuck. And then back behind that fryer as well. And then I'll clean the equipment, and then we'll work ourselves down. If tomorrow I can complete this section of the trailer, the cooking area of the trailer from top to bottom, I will be very happy. This is my least favorite thing to do in this industry. Like anything in life, it's one of the most rewarding because it's something I don't want to do. So when I get it done, like tonight I'm gonna go home, I'm going to take a shower because I'm filthy, and then I'm going to sleep like a baby because this won't be on my mind no more. I mean, it's such a rewarding feeling to get the boxes checked of the stuff I don't want to do, and this is one of them. You do it once every 3 months. I'll probably do some more preventative maintenance with it, with the simple green and the rag, because it works so well. This is me just kind of learning over the years, but this is the best way and the fastest way I've found without having to inhale, you know, vapor chemicals, and gets the job done. So let me know what you guys think. I know this is different from my usual content, but I'm thinking there's a lot of you guys that really just want to see every step of the process. Here is my least favorite step of the process, but she's done. So appreciate you all. Please like and subscribe. I don't get to do this call to action very often because we're food POV. It means the world to us to have this support and to have you guys follow us along on our journey. All right, see you next time.